Okay, perfect. So now what we will do, first of all, thank you so much. They're all clapping here. I know that with this mic, you can't really hear that they are clapping, but they are. So
Okay.
and thanks a lot. Of course, it took a little bit longer than usual, but just because we have the translation. So thanks for staying with us, and be patient. And now we are ready for the Q&A. Ready for the Q&A. We already have one question, and I would also like to pin. We also have our connecting node in Shanghai today. So I will start first of all. So here they are. I will start first of all with Zoe Vessier from Paris. Sorry. Zoe, can you please unmute yourself?
I am.
Okay, that's a busy screen. Okay, hi. Thanks for joining.
My pleasure. Thanks, Rudy, for all what you said. It's very moving, and all your painting is we have a sensation of peace, really deep peace. And you talk about this energy with the painting, and I'm wondering, maybe it's a weird question, but do you destroy sometimes on paintings because suddenly the relation is no more good? So you decide that something between you and the painting is off, or you repaint because you say, well, I will continue and find the good energy between me and the painting.
Okay. I close a painting in 1 day or 2 days because I need the matter be fluid, liquid, and cool, fresh. Okay. I cannot work over the matter, dry matter, but I have in this way I need to close the painting until that is fresh, is wet. Okay. And so I destroy many often my works, yeah, but not when it's happened. I do because not because there isn't an idea of peace or idea is I destroy my paintings when the dialogue, when with it is not of quality. It's like with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and when you talk with him or with her, and the quality of dialogue is not useful, and so I can destroy, and I do, but I don't look for sensation of peace in my work. Maybe I look for a sensation of quality. The mood can be painful, bad, or peace, or quiet, empty, but everything have to be of a good level of quality. But it's not a quality of a good painting, but a quality of surprise. That quality have to be something of new for me, something of like a gift, like a
just a good exchange, a good quality. Yeah, I understand perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your question. Okay, and I also put the, you can also see, I guess now, the living room here in Seoul. In case you have any question, we have the microphone here to, and you can just pass it around. While we're waiting for new questions to come, there is something that you didn't mention during the talk, and I think it's super, super interesting. Your relationship with drawing, because I know that very often you have been asked whether you use your drawing in the preparation of your work. And can you please share this with us? The fact whether you use the drawing, preparation drawings or not, and why not?
Okay, okay. I don't drawing. I don't drawing because I feel good with paint, and I admire a lot of who drawing, but I cannot. I feel a strange sensation with drawing. Is dry, and is like for me is like I love to see the drawing of the other or in the show, or but when I try to do, I feel a strange sound in my head, a dry sound, and I cannot do it.
Thank you. Sorry, I wanted you to share this because I think it's very interesting. Also, it's an interesting insight on your art practice. We go to the living room in Shanghai. You have to unmute yourself. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Sure, sure.
Yes. Okay, great. I really love your work, and I really find it interesting how you've mentioned that you connect or that you allow the medium to connect with your energy. So that's why you like paintings or maybe oil paintings. I really like that part. So my question is, I spoke to a couple of people about this already. So right now I'm in my creative block and I've been in it for a while now. So I was wondering if you ever have those creative blocks where you just stop painting. Like for me, I stopped painting and doing sculpture for a few months now, and I can't quite get back to it. So when I do it, I feel very disconnected from my art. So I'm never happy with the result. And I was wondering if you have any advice on that, or if that ever happens to you.
Whoa. You should to think about the reason that you are in this situation. What do you feel? And when you are in front of a canvas or a matter for sculpture, and you have to listen yourself with a quiet, and don't listen the voice in your mind. Don't listen to your mind. Don't listen to the voices in your mind.
Once, Rudy, I remember reading about, because you were asking in an interview a question very similar to this one. And if I well remember, but then you're here and you can confirm. In that interview, you said that when you have a block, let's say, in front of the white canvas, not you, in general, when an artist has this kind of block, perhaps that's an answer already. Would you? Do you still think that way? In case, Valentina, you can jump in, or te la chiedo in italiano, faccio prima. Translation. Completely. Sorry, no, Rudy, una volta ho letto in un'intervista che ti è stata fatta una domanda simile, qui ti chiedevano cosa fai, cioè cosa succede quando un artista ha il blocco dell'artista. E tu hai risposto, ma forse bisognerebbe ragionare sul fatto che se c'è il blocco, già quella è un po' una risposta, cioè forse bisognerebbe prendersi una pausa. L'ho letto da qualche parte, in questo momento non mi ricordo dove. Sottoscriveresti ancora oggi questa cosa? Cioè, di fronte a un blocco, quella è una tua è una reazione dell'artista nei confronti della tela o nei confronti della materia che si trova di fronte, forse bisognerebbe un attimo fare un passo indietro. La pensi ancora così o no?
Sì, la penso ancora così, ma io non sono una persona molto indulgente con me stesso. La pratica, cioè il lavoro di artista è molto simile a quello di un atleta, e per cui sì, penso che nella vita di un atleta ci possa essere il momento di riposo o di pausa, ma se sei un professionista devi riuscire anche a ritornare in studio e cioè con poca indulgenza, in poche parole. Sì, ci possono essere momenti di pausa o di blocco, è normale, è giusto rispettarli, ma è anche un momento molto rischioso. È un momento molto rischioso che spaventa tutti gli artisti o tutti gli atleti, magari. È come se un atleta si rompesse un arto.
Grazie, thank you. Vai Valentina, scusa.
Sorry. So yeah. So basically, he would kind of like subscribe, but like to what Raffaella asked. Raffaella asked. So basically, Raffaella was referring to an article that she read, and in which Rudy would said that if you actually perceive a block in your painting, so you have like a creative block in your practice, you would actually maybe have to take some rest, because it is actually a signal that it is time to take some rest, but at the same time is still something that many artists like perceive as very risky in a sense, and it's something that is kind of like make you have some fear as something happened, for instance, like in sports, right? Because every athlete has a very strong fear of, like, you know, having to stop at some point because of like an injury or something. But at the same time, perhaps sometimes it's important also to take some rest and understand why this is happening, why the block is happening, and try to overcome. And I like what Rudy was saying before about don't listen to voices in your head that tell you that you cannot do something, but rather like try to understand why, you know, like there is something that is happening and this block is happening, and try to like kind of like metabolize that, and then perhaps you can find a way of the reason why this is happening.
Thank you. Now we go to Italy. Pietro, can you unmute yourself, please? Oh, okay. No, I will read this question. That's fine. Ti chiede, lo leggo in italiano e poi traduciamo. Alcune opere sembrano o assomigliano, e mi piacciono molto, all'osservazione di un negativo bianco e nero in trasparenza. Ti chiede se è una sua sensazione personale oppure se è una cosa voluta.
No, non è una cosa
voluta. Aspetta, Valentina, traduci tu.
Yeah, should I first, translate in English? So, yes, so one question is coming from Italy, says that some artworks, they seem or have some similarities at when we observe negative black and white in the transparency. So like, for instance, like, you know, photography negative, or like a negative of an image. And he is asking actually if this sensation is personal from the viewer, or rather something that actually is something that is a thought, and so it actually has a purpose.
No, non è una cosa voluta. Ma non è la prima volta che me lo chiedono.
So Rudy's answering that no, it's not something that he ever thought about or that he ever wanted to achieve as a result. But at the same time, it's something that various people already expressed as a remark on his painting.
We have one question coming from the living room in Seoul. The mic is there. It doesn't bite as I usually do. It should be on. Here it is. Just speaking. Yes, I think you can hear her, right?
Okay. Thank you, Raffaella, for inviting me. This is my first time, so this is a big treat. Very beautiful. As someone new to art, I first noticed the colors. So I had a question. I noticed that the images we saw today were all very cool colors. So I was just wondering how you select your colors and if there is a palette that you gravitate towards.
Puoi tradurre, Raffaella o Valentina?
Yeah, I can. I just wanted to ask before to translate when you say like very cool color, in a sense like the tone of the colors, right?
Yes,
So they're
correct.
like
Okay.
grays.
Yeah.
Ok. Allora, prima di tutto ringrazia perché è la prima volta che viene a ARTCaffè, quindi è veramente tra virgolette un po' un treat, no? una chicca per lei essere qua. E essendo qualcuno che è un po' nuovo al mondo dell'arte, la prima cosa che ha notato durante la tua presentazione è stata l'uso dei colori e soprattutto di toni abbastanza freddi nelle immagini delle opere che hai fatto vedere oggi, e quindi ti chiedeva come selezioni la tua palette cromatica per le opere, se ci sono dei significati, dei simboli precisi legati proprio alla selezione dei colori.
Anche, grazie della domanda, anche questo avviene in maniera abbastanza spontanea, naturale. Anche quello fa parte del tono di voce. È come è un po' come nasci, è un po' come un po' come la tua postura, come il tuo tono di voce, come è il colore dei capelli. Non scelgo in maniera razionale, avviene, e è vero che tendono un po' a un'emotività un po' fredda, forse, non lo so, ha un'emotività. Mi piace molto quando il colore è corrotto, quando non è decifrabile, ma non lo scelgo, si forma in maniera naturale, fa parte di quella parte di sorpresa o di libertà che concedi alla materia.
All right, 1 second. Okay, so to your question, what Rudy is answering is that also the choice of colors actually happens in actually a spontaneous manner and in a natural manner, and it is also the choice of color is also part of what Rudy was referring to at the beginning of his talk, to the finding your own tone of voice, and is a little bit as your features that are not really decided by yourself, like your posture, your voice tone, your hair color are not really always chosen or own ways happen in a rational manner or thought after, but rather they happen, and so it's something that again is about finding your own voice, finding your own voice tone. But at the same time, Rodeo acknowledges that they do tend to be in a kind of like a cold and cool emotional state. But at the same time, he really likes when the color is corrupt. So in a sense, when the color is not really understandable, but rather blurred in between various nuanced. So as well, for this element to happen is not something that Rudy chooses, but rather something that is part of the surprise, the unexpected, and the freedom that is actually given to the painting material itself.
Thank you.
Okay, one more question from the living room.
Hi, thank you so much. I was wondering about your last painting, the title, why Eritrea?
La domanda è riferita al titolo della tua ultima opera, perché Residence Eritrea, per come mai Eritrea come luogo.
Perché, perché è un luogo dove la storia colonialista è importante e quindi anche nel titolo avviene un gioco rispetto ai bordi e ai limiti.
So if because so Rudy's explained that because Eritrea is actually a place that is actually linked to colonial history. If you're familiar with Italian history, especially, you know that Eritrea has been part of that. And so it is important because at the same time there is a connection with Rudy's research into the limits and the borders. So, you know, of course, the borders are part or are strongly linked with colonial history. So this is the reason why he chose this title. And I actually wanted to jump as well on a question, if it's possible, really linked to this latest remark, because it's something actually I wanted to ask since I started translating, especially when Rudy developed this idea of painting borders and the idea of borders. So, and then we talked about Eritrea. So like, and you spoke as well of like, you know, like border defining somehow the us and them dichotomy, which is something that is extremely a part of like colonial mindset itself. And so somehow I wanted to ask you if in a way the practice that you developed that was firstly a research into the matter and material of painting, so a play with paint itself, a relationship with paint itself, so kind of like a formal relationship with the formal rendering of the painting, then became something that also acquired a symbolic and political connotation. La traduco. Ok. No, è una domanda che in realtà volevo fare da veramente dall'inizio in cui hai iniziato a parlare di confini e di bordi e poi di confini come una naturale estensione, no, dello sviluppo della tua pratica pittorica, e specialmente come all'inizio la tua indagine pittorica era veramente un'indagine, come hai spiegato, nella relazione con la materia pittorica, e quindi questa idea di tracciare le linee e poi creare questi bordi, eccetera, era qualcosa che era forse all'inizio una cosa tecnica, una cosa più a livello di tecnica, di relazione con la pittura come soggetto, no? Quindi non le immagini, ma proprio la pittura come soggetto, ma dopo, piano piano, hai iniziato, no, a trovare i tuoi soggetti pittorici in termini di immagini, e a un certo punto hai iniziato a parlare di bordi e poi di confini, e quando ci sono dei confini ovviamente siamo in noi, ci sono i loro, no? La dicotomia, che è anche una dicotomia molto abbracciata dal pensiero colonialista. E quindi volevo chiederti se questa ricerca, che all'inizio era proprio un'indagine con la pittura come materia, è diventata anche un'indagine che nel tempo ha assunto delle connotazioni più sociali o politiche.
Ok, beh, penso che la mia generazione sia cresciuta con questa connotazione. Penso che sia ci abbia accompagnato negli ultimi 20 anni quest'idea del bordo, del dentro e del fuori, e dell'aspetto politico-sociale che poi ne consegue, no? Ricordo che quando ero un bambino l'idea di sicurezza che abbiamo adesso non c'era. C'è un'idea di sicurezza, di controllo che forse è venuto, questa riflessione è nata prima del rapporto con la pittura, nel senso che mi è sempre interessato questo aspetto, e in più è un aspetto che troviamo sia, la cosa che mi sorprende è che è un aspetto tra il noi e il loro, il dentro e il fuori, lo si trova a livello sia interiore in ognuno di noi che a livello sociale e politico, per cui ci sono questi due ambienti che si intersecano molto spesso nella contemporaneità, lo vediamo costantemente. In Italia lo si vive in maniera molto esplicita, nell'ultima settimana a livello mondiale è di nuovo un tema presente. È direi che è una cosa molto contemporanea, ma che ci portiamo da parecchi anni, è stata un'evoluzione. Quindi il mio interesse è più che un interesse, è un'analisi quotidiana delle cose.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna translate that. So Rudy says that he thinks that his generation actually grew up with this connotation, so political connotation on the idea of borders, and he actually thinks that this idea of borders, whereas this social political, has accompanied us in the last 20 years, and with the conception of the dichotomy of us and them, of the inside / the outside, the outside, and the connotation that is social political, that actually is a consequence to this image of borders. And Rudy remembers then when he was a kid, actually the idea of security that we have right now where was not really there, and so the idea of security and control somehow as a way of thinking, as part of his reflection, was born before then his relationship with painting. It's always been interested into this concept, and is also a concept that we often find both as something that is subjective and interior, but something also that is social and political. So the inside and outside, the us and them, is something that we experience as a reflection on ourselves as individuals, be us the world, but also as a more social political connotation as well. And so it's there's two ways of seeing it that constant actually meet and then somehow intertwine in the contemporaneity constantly in contemporary times. And in Italy, and I would say also in the world, it's lived in a very explicit manner, and as we all know, also during the last week, has been lived in globally, this theme, but it's really something that exists since very, very long time, and so in a sense is part of Rudy's interest, in a way that in the sense that is actually is as a daily reflection on the state of things, on the state of the world. And I would say for I would add myself that as we are connected from South Korea, and that as I have lived in South Korea for over 3 years and a half, that is something that in Korea is also felt very much, the idea of borders. And so I think that this can have a very interesting connotation than when your paintings are seen by a Korean audience in your forthcoming exhibition. E volevo solo aggiungere che è una cosa ovviamente che in Corea è vissuta molto, no? L'idea dei confini e dei bordi, e che quindi sono abbastanza sicura che quando l'audience coreana potrà vedere la tua opera, sicuramente potrà fare anche dei ragionamenti simili proprio per la situazione sociale e politica del paese.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
Grazie.
This is the perfect way to, I think, to end our appointment. Thank you so much for this.
Grazie mille.
Stay with me a couple of more minutes. Oh, this was so good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so, Uppsala. Thank you so much, Rudy. And thank you so much for Valentina, because yeah, as I said, so it was more than a translation, but I knew it, and
Yeah.
and I'm very, very happy for it.
I hope that I made sense. I really don't, I'm not a translator, so I did my best, but I hope that was okay for everyone too.
Now, I have a very long list of people to thank for today, because, and this is great because it means that this event was really came about thanks to the collaboration of so many people, and I love synergies. So thank you, Rudy, first of all, because it was great to have insights about your work. You have been super generous. So thank you for this. Thank you, Valentina, as I mentioned, for the translation and much more. And thanks to the Italian Cultural Institute of here in Seoul for giving the patronage of the event, to Gallery KICHE. And by the way, it will be in the day after, but for those of you who are here in Seoul, next Tuesday, October 24th, Landscape and Depth will open at the gallery with, it's a group show, and there will be also works, new works by Rudy featured there. So go and take a look. You don't know that, but you saw some of the pictures already during the presentation. That was part of the preview, but now your homework is to go there and to see them in person, because it's always important, of course. Okay, of course, thanks to you who came, take time to come today to the living room. Thanks to the living room in Seoul. It was great to have, again, Magalie as a connecting node. I think that's it. So have a great day in Italy and in Europe, in Paris, wherever you are. I see we have people from all over Europe. And for those of you who are in Shanghai, here in Seoul and in Asia, have a great evening and see you next month.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.